Hello everybody, welcome on in here to our user group webinar today. My name is Jim, I'll be your presenter here today. I'm coming to you live on a sunny, clear, but cold day here in Columbus, Ohio. So glad you guys could join me here today, where we will be talking about using the transaction browser in the donations module. I'll outline how to correct a previously entered gift and also how to reverse a gift out of donations. Not the biggest topic we've had. I don't anticipate going for the entire length of the 20-minute scheduled presentation time here today. But I will be able to be open to have questions at the end of the session here. Before we go ahead and get started, a word about your GoToWebinar control panel that you guys should all have on your screen. There's a little red button with an arrow on it, usually in the upper left-hand corner there, that you can use to either maximize or minimize that GoToWebinar control panel. Minimizing it gives you a little more room on your monitor to see what we're discussing here today. Maximizing it gives you access to the functions of that control panel, probably most importantly that questions section. I probably won't get to any questions that you guys answer as I'm in the midst of the presentation itself, but once I'm done with that, I'll answer any questions that come through at that time. If you could please limit the questions to the topic at hand, which is the donations browser, that would be helpful. But all of that aside, let's go ahead and get started. The donations browser, I'm going to be working with the materials from our, just realized I wasn't showing the screen. I'm going to be working with the materials from our regional training manual. If any of you guys have those regional training manuals, I'll be working with the donations manual D104, and it will be pages 16 through 21 that we'll be covering here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and open up donations. Okay, so this is for use after you have already posted a batch or a donations here in the donations module, and you at some point later realize that there has been some sort of mistake made, whether that is a transaction that needs to be reversed or corrected in some way. So there are two places where you can go to get into your donations browser. The first one is right here from your opening image map. It's this Browse Donations button right here. The second place you can go is under the Donations tab in the upper left-hand corner, and there's another Browse button right here. They both take you to the same place. So either one can get you where you need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my Browse button up here. Takes you to a grid showing you all of your gifts that you have here in the donations module. You will also see at the top of the screen the date range. It will be listed here. It's also listed in the taskbar at the top of that window. So we're looking at the calendar year of 2017. So these are all of the gifts that we have in there for that time period. There is a search box in the upper left-hand corner here, right underneath where it says Giver, where you can type in a person's name or their envelope number or giver number if you want to search by number. So if I were to click over here, I'm looking for a gift from Penny Morris. So I'm going to type in the last name. It'll show you all of the folks with that name on your drop-down list. You can then either use the arrow keys on your keyboard to scroll down, or you can just click with your mouse button. If you use your arrow keys, just press the Enter key on your keyboard, and it will take you to that person's record, or the record of that person's giving, rather. At the top of the screen, you'll see their name and their giver number. The amount they have given will be listed there as well. Then below that, you will see a list of all of their gifts that you have recorded during that time period. If there is a particular gift on here that you wish to correct, you simply select that line by clicking on it. It will highlight it in blue. And then to correct it, you use the big green correct button at the top here with the green checkbox. And it will take you to the correct donation window right here. On the window that you're looking on here, you can adjust any of the properties of that gift. So everything on here is changeable. You can change the date of the gift if you wish to by editing that donation date in the upper left-hand corner. You can change the amount of that gift. Payment method, you can add donation comments if you wish to that gift as well. Anything that you wish to change, you can on here. A common one would be if the giving account was incorrect. So you'll see the giving account listed down here in this section here. If you click in this box next to, in this case where it says General Fund, you'll see a little drop-down arrow listed over to the right of that. Clicking on that drop-down arrow will show you all of your giving accounts that you have set up in your system. Let's say that this gift should have gone to the building fund instead. I can simply select that. I can click on my Save Donation button right here, which posts it to the Donations module. If I click Save and Transfer, it will then post it to the Donations module and bring you to a Transfer to Accounting window where you can then transfer that money over to accounting from there. For the purposes of this demonstration today, I'm just going to go ahead and click on Save Donation. Gives you this window here. In this case, the corrections require that that transaction, number 2019, be reversed and re-entered. It puts in a new transaction with the number 2068. So if I go ahead and click on OK here, takes us back to the grid. You'll see, listed right here, transaction number 2068. You'll see it's listed as the building fund now. We do keep a full audit trail here in donations if you make any changes to any of your gifts in the system here. So note in the lower left-hand corner of this screen, there's a checkbox that says include reversed transactions. By default, when you first come to this window, it's not going to show any of your reversed transactions. If you put a check mark in that box, you'll see a couple of new lines appear on here highlighted in red. You will see the original gift that you had in the system, that transaction number 2019 listed here for $10 to the general fund right here. Then the line directly under it is the correcting transaction, which basically eliminates the effect of that gift, transaction number 2067 for minus $10. So then you'll see the one underneath that is the replacement transaction. You can also, I want to show as an example here, change the amount of a gift. So if I wanted to change the amount of another gift on here, I can select this gift here for penny, and I can click my correct button at the top. If I wanted to change the amount, let's say this was supposed to be $10, I can change that to $10 just by clicking in the amount box down here. Now I want you to notice when I do this, at the bottom of the window, it's going to show you the total of the gifts. The reason there's a total line down here at the bottom right here is because certain gifts may affect more than one giving account. So if you're only changing the amount of one of those giving accounts, you need to kind of keep track of what the total of that gift is. Notice, however, that there is a total at the bottom, and up here in the upper right-hand corner, there's also an amount here. Those two things have to match before you can save this correction. So if I were to, so you'll notice right now you got $15 in the upper right-hand corner where it says amount. You've got $10 where it says total at the bottom. If I wanted to, if I tried to post this from here, I'd get this message. The total in the grid does not match the amount entered for this transaction. Correct the amount to match the total. The amount is this one up here, so that is what I want to do in this case. So I'll go ahead and say yes. That's going to make this $10. It'll reverse the original transaction and post a new one for us. So again, now we'll see that $10 gift to the general fund listed here. And then again, you'll see those reverse transactions as well. Okay. You can also reverse transactions entirely from here as opposed to simply correcting them. Let's go ahead and go to Jen Arnold's record. I will go back to where it says giver in the upper left-hand corner. Oops. Jen L. Arnold, I'll go ahead and select her. If we wish to reverse a transaction on here, we simply use the reverse and NSF button, the red button up here at the top. So let's say, for example, this gift here, where it's listed as $10 donations. If I had a reason to reverse this transaction, I could click reverse and NSF at the top of the screen, and it brings you to your reverse donation window right here. There are two tabs along the top here. There's the recommended tab listed right here, which what this does is it reverses that transaction and takes it out of the system as of the date of the original transaction. In other words, listed right here, January 1st, 2017. So that is normally how you're going to want to do this. There are situations where you may not want to. For example, if this had previously been transferred over to the accounting module and there had been a bank reconciliation run for the month of January, you may not want to reverse it here and then go ahead and transfer it over and reverse it in accounting as well, because you don't want to invalidate a previously posted bank reconciliation. In that case, you'd go to your Advanced Options tab right here, and you can either reverse it as of today's date, or you can specify another specific date. And what that does is it leaves it in your system for that time period in between. So it's kind of like that gift exists for a couple of months or whatever that time period is, and then reverses it later. So that therefore you're not going to go ahead and invalidate either bank reconciliations or prior posted reports. You may have had a committee meeting with certain totals on it, and you had some reports. You don't want to invalidate those reports. So situations such as that. Obviously, this can get confusing because there's going to be this gift sitting here in your system for a little while that later gets deleted out. So for that reason, unless it's specific reasons like, the bank reconciliation or not wanting to invalidate reports, we do recommend that you just reverse it as of today's date. So I'll go ahead and click OK. It will permanently reverse that donation. And it'll give you another reversal. If I click on reversal, my include reverse transactions checkbox here, it shows that entire thing has been reversed. Okay. The last thing I want to look at here, bear with me for a moment, is you can also have a particular transaction marked as a non-sufficient funds. Sometimes the church does receive a check that does not clear the bank and come back as NSF or a bounced check. There is a separate section there where you can mark it as NSF here. So let's go ahead and take this one from John McLean here over at with a $20 check that he had written. If I go back to my reverse and NSF button here at the top, I can put a check mark here, reversed due to non-sufficient funds. It will put, there's a little checkbox here in the donations module that lets you be able to view reversals that were due to NSF transactions here. This is an example where more commonly you would go to advanced options and uh, mark it as a different date. Because this type of situation, you may hear about it later. There's a good chance you have printed reports or run um, a bank reconciliation in the meantime. This one, we do want to note that, oh, also the other thing you can do here is put donation comments for reversing the transaction. Um, Whatever the appropriate comments are, you can see that in here. And oftentimes you'd say, reverse it as of the date that you received the notification from the bank that it has been marked as NSF. This situation here, we do recommend you not transfer this over to the accounting module because you'll probably want to, over in accounting, make the adjustments there. There are probably there oftentimes is a fee that goes along with that, or pardon me, a penalty that goes along with an NSF check. There are things that need to be done over in accounting that may need to adjust for that aren't a pure transfer from donations over to accounting. So for that reason, generally speaking, you're just not going to transfer that over to accounting. So when you click OK, it'll reverse that. Let me see. Let me go to his record here. What is it? John MCC. John McClain here. So you'll see return check. There may be, yeah, there are certain views you can get into here where it will show whether a transaction was NSF or not. So, okay, folks, that is all I had to show you guys today, believe it or not. Just the basics of getting into the browse transactions, how to locate a particular person's record, how to correct or reverse transactions on there. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you're all set to get on with your day, feel free to go ahead and click on the X in the upper right-hand corner of your GoToWebinar control panel. That'll close you out of here, and you're all set to go. I am going to leave the room open for a little bit to get to any questions that might have popped up as we've gone through here. So I will do that now. So for folks who are out of here, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day.